Are there common characteristics to the UAPs that have been cited by different pilots, and can you describe what the convergence of descriptions is?
Certainly. We were primarily seeing dark gray or black cubes inside of a clear sphere.
I'm sorry, dark gray or black cubes?
How many of these pilots are getting... I mean, it sounds like this really affects these guys' career if they come out and say,
I think it really does.
I saw something.
I think it really does.
Mr. Grusch, what about you? What was your experience after you came forward?
I do have knowledge of active, planned reprisal activity against myself and other colleagues, and it's very, very upsetting to me.
There are bodies, there are craft. Some are archaeological, and some of them are craft that have crashed recently that have just been covered up.
Are you aware of any other reconnaissance platforms that have tracked or recorded the Tic-Tacs maneuvers, maybe the NORAD system or any of the others?
As we proceeded to the west, the air controller was counting down the range to an object that we were going to, and we were unaware of what we were going to see when we arrived. The controller had told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space.
So you're probably not seeing those type of crafts, those crashes happening, if they are happening at all.
So it was previous technology that was causing these things to crash. What technology? How about the UAP hearings in Mexico?
You know, they brought these bodies forth, and let's take them to one of our research places and let our top research places if they're serious about it.
When we spoke with the flight crew, and when he showed us the photo that he'd taken, I asked why the video wasn't engaged, why we didn't have a FLIR system that worked. Here's what he said. They were out on a test mission that day over the Gulf of Mexico, and when you're on a test mission, you're supposed to have clear airspace, not supposed to be anything that shows up. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft in a clear diamond formation for which there is a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress. One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation and sees a large floating, what I can only describe as an orb. Again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of.
He had also talked about recovering non-human biologics.
Maybe the Mediterranean, I believe, where they were at the time in the Navy. And when the craft slowed down over them that they could see, there was obviously some kind of viewing apparatus in it.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, Biologics came to some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Look at the hieroglyphics and things.
So you believe in this 100%, zero doubts. Do you get a lot of flack within Congress for approaching this subject?
I do, but I've talked to so many members that are pretty high-profile members, brother, and that pulled me off to the side and said, man, I believe in these things, and I want to tell you what something that happened to me when I was in the military.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?